Kawu also reacted to some complaints over the possible health implications of prolonged use of face masks.
The face mask is covering your nose and it's covering your mouth. So for a long time, you continue to bring out oxygen. So the environment is deoxygenated. And that is why if you're wearing it, you don't have to wait for 8 hours, 10 hours. I sometimes see people driving in their car alone, still wearing the face mask. You wear face masks when you are entering public, or when you are in a place where you have more than one person, and so that it will give you another layer of protection. I'm in my office, everywhere is clean, so I'm not wearing because I'm comfortable. I have more than 3 meters away from you people, and I'm alone in this office.
In a push to get reactions from the public on face masks, these are some responses.
Protect myself and other people as well.
Protection sake.
Okay, you wear it for protection. Yes. But why are you not wearing it on?
Actually, we are in the market and we're busy, that is why.
I don't really see the reason why we can't use it, but we can't just use it at length for 12 hours.
Medical experts maintain that face masks to a large extent prevents transmission of coronavirus, depending on the quality and usage. Experts say basic protocols must be observed when putting on a face mask and during its disposal. It is also important to avoid touching the mask over and over again in Abuja. Hakimat Aliu, NTA News.
Many thanks, Hakimat Aliu. Still talking coronavirus. Stigmatization is one of the most devastating issues confronting coronavirus pandemic patients, especially those that have been discharged, and several studies have shown that stigmatization usually arises from lack of awareness. Chidima Anson Agomo expressed the approach to combat stigmatization towards COVID-19 patients.
The issue of stigmatization has become a great concern to a lot of people since the outbreak of coronavirus pandemic. Instead of people showing love, encouragement and concern, but people are being stigmatized. What is the way forward?
The time they give us to stay 14 days and spend 25 days without coming out. After I go there, no headache, nothing. I did not feel anything. I just drive motor go.
Making sure we accept back people who have had COVID-19 disease and then was admitted and treated at the isolation and treatment center is very important. One of the key things that is known about any virus is that when people have the virus and survive it, the body develops defense mechanisms, and we call it developing antibodies that will have fought the disease and defeated the disease. And this means that those antibodies are now replete in the body of the person and will be able to fight off any other disease. Those people are not in any way infectious for most viral diseases. So it's important we do not discriminate against them. In fact, it's important that we show them love.
The discrimination part of it has not gone well for Nigerians in society, because those that have recovered from the coronavirus, a lot of stigmatization has been given to them right from the day they were announced that they had the virus, the very minute they went to isolation, and when they were discharged. A lot of stigmatization has really affected them in terms of their business, in terms of their human relationship, of which it ought not to be so. We need to formally, once again, enlighten the public. Those that have recovered, their immune system has been boosted.
Most people believe that through adequate sensitization and awareness, stigmatization will be reduced to the barest minimum. Chidiman Sinagomo, NTA News.
And away from coronavirus, for now, to agriculture. It is that time of the year when most of regions experience average annual rainfall. In this special report, our correspondent Hawa Gimba takes a look at the effect of rainy season, especially common ailments associated with the season.
Raining season is a time of the year where most of the region's annual rainfall occurs. The season is greeted with a lot of negative and positive effects. On the positive side, it is the season for planting an abundance of rains, guaranteed bumper harvest for food sufficiency. But on the negative side, the rains bring along with a number of health issues, including infectious diseases such as flu, influenza, cold, cholera, typhoid, hepatitis, malaria, and many more.
It is good to prepare ourselves for it. Those are the precautions that we need to take. We must modify our environment. The cold, the temperature is not, if it's cold, it's not too good for the body. So we must keep our environment warm, so that we won't keep it damp, to keep fungus. You get to some homes, you see that the walls are damp, cold, and the colors are changing from white to green, black, and all that. That's as a result of fungus growing there. And so this time of the year is when you have an increase in fungus presence in the house.
Aside these allergies, asthma and pneumonia are easily contracted during this season, and Dr. Kingsley Osage says the season is not the best time for people with such ailments.
Those with pre-existing conditions like bronchial asthma, it is advisable during this period. This is not the time to run out of your drugs. It is extremely important to make sure that you stock your drugs, because at night you can have what we call acute severe asthma, and that could be very dangerous. So it's a time to keep your drugs ready.
The health expert advised that the way out is to ensure proper hygiene, especially during this coronavirus pandemic, and to ensure clean environment at all times. Hawagimba, NTA News.
As the world population aggressively moves towards 8 billion according to statistics, research has shown that more than 10% of these numbers are suffering from food insufficiency. Abdullahi Suleiman Yaji reports that experts have frowned at this development and are suggesting ways to mitigate, especially as it affects Nigeria.
Recently, a 2020 global report by the World Food Programme estimates that 1 billion people lack sufficient food globally. This indicates that over 7 million could face acute hunger in Nigeria over the next 3 months due to the spread of the coronavirus, movement restrictions, and farming challenges.
As far as we are concerned, if farmers could not go to the farm today, we are going to face a serious problem.
The only thing that can solve the issue of hunger is investing more in agriculture so that the whole nation has sufficiency.
An agri-expert reasoned that the situation does not call for panic, given Nigeria's enviable agri-potentials.
Recently, CBN said they are going to fund about 1.6 million farmers, which I'm sure is also a strategy to hedge against falling into that trap of people becoming hungry in the next 3 months. We are just going into the farming season, and farmers are prepared. Exception by the government that farmers should be allowed to go to the farm.
Also, the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, through the strategic grain reserves, has empowered farmers with farm inputs to cushion the adverse effects. Abdullahi Suleiman Iyaji, NTA News.
You're watching the news at 1 on NTA Channel 5 Abuja. The news continues in just a moment.
Yeah, what though? This coronavirus, everybody they talk, not be play. Anybody fit catch am anywhere and e not they show for face. If you catch am, you fit peme. If person will get a cough or sneeze, anything where the cough touch, if you touch am, can't touch your face, or you even go touch another person, you fit don't catch am be that too. Now make government say make you hear word, make you stay for house, arrange food where you go chop, keep for house. If you dey outside, not shake anybody hand, not they hug anybody. They wash hand every time with soap and water where they flow. Make you wash hand like say you use and touch pepper, come take and clean your face. If water not there, use and sanitize hand. If you dey cough, body dey hot and not fit breathe, if it be say na coronavirus be that so, make you call this number sharp sharp.
Some people are getting 20-something thousand. Some are getting 30-something thousand. Is it a rocket science?
Our definition of news is getting the unusual in and around the FCT. Fresh and factual, from education, transportation, politics, sports, judiciary, security to the grassroots. You can go on and on. You will find us there.
I'm sure you will be wondering how we bring to you the happenings. Our news team are always on ground 24/7 to keep you abreast with the latest happenings. Whenever the news breaks in the FCT, you will find our team of reporters.
Residents
the construction of the Lot 1B of the Abuja light rail mass transport system.
Whatever way you chose to
many have remained
Onlookers and motorists alike watch in horror as the wave upon wave of water.
For security agencies.
With our on-air personalities, we bring to you delightful presentations.
On the news tonight, FCT Police Command, telecommunication giant empowers customers.
NTA5ABUJA News, always authentic with no room for fake news. We are the Unity Station, using the news to unite the nation.
Thank you for staying with us. Coronavirus has been in Nigeria for about 3 months now, with figures of infection soaring at an alarming rate. Our correspondent J. Auta seeks to find out why residents seem to have relaxed adhering to the safety measures of containing the spread of COVID-19.
When the first case of coronavirus was announced in Nigeria on February 27, many citizens were so scared since there was no much information about the new disease. But as time passed by and with researches by scientists the world over, more information about COVID-19 started circulating. Initially, people were gripped with fears of a disease that seemed to be a death sentence, since there is no known cure. Adherence to all the protocols to prevent contracting the disease was high as people and governments swung into action to curtail the spread.
Necessitated by some of the reports being released and the controversies from the medical COVID-19 team. And if you have been following the reports, some people were saying that it is not real, in the sense that some people that were tested, they were not confirmed, and they were declared positive.
People feel like it's been relaxed, and then me personally, I came in from Kaduna, and then I've been saying I would want to see a patient that has been suffering with the COVID-19, but up to now I haven't seen. So I don't feel, because even with the lockdown, people move out with their daily activities.
I always browse through to check the confirmed cases every day from the NCDC portal, and I discovered truly that the thing is rising. But on our social medias, like TV station, they are not really showing us those isolation centers where our brothers have been laid on, maybe in ventilator and all of that. I believe if they are showing us, at least we are humans, we will be able to feel that, because people are saying that the thing is not even existing.
But then, from observation, it seems people are now relaxed about adhering to precautionary measures to check the spread of the disease, while figure of patients down with coronavirus remains on the rise, with 663 new cases recorded by Nigeria's Center for Disease Control, NCDC, as at Tuesday nationwide, and the highest daily death rate of 17 recorded on Wednesday. This alarming figure, which is the highest so far, calls for stricter adherence to safety rules by residents of the Federal Capital Territory. The question is, what should be done to make residents proactive?
We want the federal government to still come up with a much serious measure of which they can use to tackle it, because we can see the number is rising day by day. It's not reducing drastically, but it's increasing drastically. So we feel the federal government still has much more to do concerning the lockdown and the
spread of the disease. J. Auta, NTA News.
And from COVID-19 protocol to security. The FCT Security Joint Task Force on the restriction of interstate movement has arrested a truck loaded with 70 bags of dry weed suspected to be cannabis sativa at the Kogi FCT boundary. Let's join Ilyas Onotu Yakubu for details.
The latest arrest is coming barely 36 hours after the same Joint Task Force operatives intercepted a similar trailer at the same spot along the NTA5ABUJA highway. Coincidentally, the suspects are also coming all the way from Auchi in Edo State, but this time around, their destination is Zaria in Kaduna State.
We are working. These things used to pass always, but undetected. But with our commitment of our men under the Joint Task Force and synergy with all the other sister agencies, you can see the recovery.
The trailer with registration number Yobe NNR274XA was conveying fertilizer from Auchi to Zaria in Kaduna State. The suspected cannabis sativa were carefully concealed in 14 packs of 5 bales each and hidden underneath the bags of fertilizer. 47-year-old Sani Aliyu is the one transporting the weed, but said he was only conscripted by one Salisu to help him convey the products to Zaria.
He gave me 7,000 naira for transport fare and told me there were only empty sacks. I'm on my way home from Auchi.
He said there were empty sacks. That was why I carried the load. I did not know what was inside.
The suspects have been handed over to the NDLEA for investigation and prosecution. Ilyasu Onotu Yakubu, NTA News.
Now, for a regular maintenance and upgrade of Abuja facilities in line with the city's master plan, the FCT administration has carried out a routine monitoring assessment and evaluation of the city. Executive Secretary FCDA Umar Gambo-Jibrin says this will allow for a better aesthetics and sanity of the territory. Abdullahi Ajia reports on the position of the city managers after the tour.
The dream city of Abuja, Nigeria's capital city, is often tied to the continued commitment to manage its design and infrastructure. This necessitated the latest routine assessments of the city. Outside the comfort and confines of their office environment, directors and heads of agencies of the FCT administration, led by the Executive Secretary, FCDA, Umar Gambo-Jibrin, commenced the tour from the city center to areas and districts of Apo, Lokogoma, Kaura, Durumi, Apo Legislative Quarters, among others, where the team made observations on what they described as infractions to the city original developmental plan and maintenance.
We have gone through where we have seen clear obstruction, on our ways. Everything that we have on ground is allowed to function as the master plan has envisioned.
The policymakers said all their findings will be reviewed for improved service delivery, which will in the process recover and restore green areas and waterways, improve city sanitation, address indiscriminate parking, as well as provide adequate lighting of Abuja at night.
We are having someone claiming to have a park within this location. And you can see the kind of construction that he's doing. Obviously, this one cannot survive. We were here with the Honorable Minister, and we are coming back again to make sure that this place is restored back to what it should be. It's a stream course. We're supposed to have our sewer line moving this direction, and then to even make it green so that the environment will be healthier for the residents of this area.
The FCT administration warns developers who have encroached on lands meant for road construction, especially on the Lokogoma-Galadima axis, to vacate or face demolition. Abdullahi Ajia, NTA News.
And from the city center, we move to the suburbs. Galadima community was ravaged by rainstorms which wreaked havoc on property last year. Deborah Micah on special assignment The community reports that the early rains have started affecting access roads into the community.
Rains did not help situation. Around this time every year, the Federal Capital Territory is characterized by heavy downpour, and Galadimawa community is one among the communities in the FCT where life becomes apparently unbearable for residents during the rainy season.
Anytime when rain dey fall, na so we dey suffer for this sun.
I believe they themselves, they pass through this place, and I think they should look at it and do something, at least for the humanitarian sake.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
District head of Galadimawa community, Musa Birthday, also laments the deplorable condition of the roads and appeal for urgent attention.
The community have been very passionate about the road network within the community, and that is why we do experience some breath, and it's only God that we are praying to God to sit us, overseeing us, making sure that we do not fall that type of situation again.
As a host community to many civil servants who work in the city center and potential food production, a need for authorities to rise up to the challenge. Deborah Micah, NTA News.
As Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury confirm financial agreement for 2 world title fights. Let's join Abdullahi Ajia for more on Sports Brief.
Nigeria Under-17 international goalkeeper Daniel Jinadu and centre-back Joshua Okocha have signed a new contract with West Ham United of England. The two were involved in a number of matches for the Hammers under-18s. Both have impressed the coaching crew with their exceptional performances on goal and the defense line for the World Cup in Brazil, featuring in all their matches except the game with Australia. Meanwhile, Bayern Munich remain on course for a double after the Bundesliga leaders defeated Frankfurt 2-1 in Wednesday's German Cup semi-final, held behind closed doors at the Allianz Arena. Bayern's early goal by Ivan Perisic was cancelled by an equalizer from Frankfurt Dani da Costa until star striker Robert Lewandowski got the winner 16 minutes from time to claim his 45th goal this season in all competitions. To boxing, there are positive vibes to the much-awaited world boxing bout between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, as both have confirmed a financial agreement for a 2 world title fight likely to hold in Saudi Arabia. Discussions over a mouth-watering battle of Britain, which will see all 4 major world heavyweight titles on the line, have been ongoing for months. Joshua's promoter Eddie Hearn confirmed the commitment, which many describe to be a showdown in British boxing history. Hearn is confident that contracts will be finalized early next year, with the pair going head-to-head for the first time in the summer of 2021. With Sports Brief, Abdullahi Ajia, NTA News.
And that concludes the news at 1 p.m. Before we go, wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, especially after you have been in a public place or after blowing your nose, coughing, or sneezing. We have more news at 7. Thanks for watching.